Things are literally exploding in the Middle East. Here to help us sort it all out is an author of the Soros Agenda. She is also the founder of and president of the New York based American Center for Democracy and the Economic Warfare Institute. Dr. Rachel Ehrenfeld, welcome to The Truth. Business should be pretty good for you these days, I'm thinking.
I wish it was quieter.
Otherwise, for you and me both. So, the reason that Israel attacked Iran is because they were just days or weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon. Is there a
Yeah.
story behind the story? Is there more to the story than just the nuclear threat, or is there more? I suspect there possibly might be.
There is the nuclear threat and the ballistic missiles. And the combination of what Iran has been had actually, they have less of it, but the nuclear facilities are still needs to be taken down. But having ballistic missiles where you can actually weaponize the head and put some nuclear stuff on it and send it to Israel, they have been sending hundreds of missiles to Israel. So yeah, that's a real danger, and it has reached a point where there was really a point of no return. If Israel would have not acted now, then we probably could have had, or Iran could have had actually, an armed ballistic missile with the nuclear bomb. So this is why it is so important. And it's not only threatening Israel, it is threatening the whole Middle East. And with ballistic missiles, they can put, Israel had bombed several trucks with ballistic missiles on them. They were transporting from one place to the other. And those ballistic missiles can be put on a ship, and a ship can come not very far from the United States and shoot on the United States as well.
So, how does
So,
this get resolved? Is this a war that is going to settle in and last for years, or is it
no,
going to
no,
resolve itself quickly? And if so,
no.
how?
If and I hope that President Trump will decide to really help finish this war uh, today, tomorrow. If he uses the bunker busters bombs that only the United States has, and they can actually penetrate Fordow and Isfahan, the major sites that where Iran has actually a lot of the nuclear weapons industry. The Israelis have taken out other sites and are taking out more as we speak, which are easier to reach. Israel doesn't have the B-2 or B-52, and it doesn't have the 30,000-pound um, bombs that can actually finish this war very quickly.
So,
So
what do our allies do, and what do our adversaries do? Is it possible that this could take on a greater significance in the balance of world power?
our allies and everybody in the Middle East besides Iran, which has been the main instigator of terrorist attacks, of creating proxies that attacks all, Arab states. The Shiite Muslims are opposing the Sunnis. So the aspiration of the Ayatollah is to conquer the world, first the Middle East, destroy Israel, destroy America, and conquer the world. So that the 12 imams will show up, and that will be, I don't know, Armageddon, and the Shiites will run the world. It sounds a little bit maybe childish or ridiculous, but this is what he believes in, and this is what they have been working for the last 45 years.
Yeah, and to that point, Iran has been begging for this for 45 years, even longer, since the day that they captured the American embassy in Tehran and
And
held
nobody did
53
anything.
Americans
Yeah,
hostage for over a year and a half.
yeah, and nobody did anything. And they have been really, it's a dictatorship, it's autocracy, and a very corrupt autocracy. Iran has the economy is in the tanks. I mean, it's really very bad situation. Now their central bank is not working. Their banks are not working, um, but that's because of Israeli pro-Israeli hackers or whatever. However, everybody believed that Iran is their lies, that they want to negotiate. Um, this is now how President Trump spent 2 months waiting to hear from them, and they didn't do anything. So on the 61st day, Israel attacked because Israel really cannot wait anymore, because if they have nuclear weapons, they will use them on Israel without any hesitation. And then they will come to America. Now, Israel has done a fantastic job thus far, but what can finish this war, and it's not boots on the ground, it's the American actually bombs, and that will really finish it. The rest of the cleaning up will be done by the Israelis. There is no need for any American to be even near.
So this couldn't come at a worse time for Israel, it seems to me, because they're fighting a war with, excuse me, the Palestinians right now in Gaza.
Well, they fight with Hamas, which is an Iranian proxy. So they have already eliminated Hezbollah, which was the biggest Iranian proxy, which had thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of rockets. Israel destroyed everything. Uh, because of that, also, Assad had to leave Syria, and there is a new government in Syria, as we saw when President Trump was in Saudi Arabia. He met with the new leader, who used to be with Al Qaeda and ISIS, but since then he saw the light, and he wants to run Syria. He says as a democracy. But anyway, they don't have an army, so Israel actually had taken that out. Israel had also bombarded the Houthis. The United States bombed the Houthis, but not enough in Yemen, because they made an agreement with them that if the Houthis don't fire on American ships, they will not bomb them. Anyway, Israel went in and bombarded the Houthis, destroyed the harbors there and other missile installations, etc. They are not finished, but they are much weakened. So it's really Israel is continuing to fight with Hamas because Iran has been funding Hamas, has been arming them as well, and Gaza is a very special case because it's really they have built the whole territory had built tunnels all over instead of building homes and building businesses and getting really a normal life, giving normal life to the people there. They live there in order also, like Iran, their goal is to kill as many Jews as possible, destroy Israel, and after that to continue with Iran and kill other Muslims that don't adhere to their version of Islam. So Israel is still fighting there. It is cleaning it up. It has taken enormous steps to actually protect the civilian citizens of the civilian population of Gaza, though they actually supported Hamas attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. Israel, in the same way that in Gaza, Israel had actually um, announced and sent warnings to the Iranian population in Tehran and elsewhere to leave areas where they were going to bomb in advance so that they will not be hurt.
Yes.
So, who heard about uh, an army that is going to attack the enemy and advising the citizens to leave because they may be hurt? That's completely unusual.
So is living in peace even an option to be considered? Is it just a fantasy that there will never be peace in the Middle East? These wars have been waging for as long as I've been alive, and much longer than that,
Yeah.
actually.
Well,
And
yeah.
they're waged in the name of religion. What kind of a
Well,
religion is that conducts terrorist activities and seems to be yearning for an
it's
all-out
radical.
war?
It's radical Islam that is calling for control of the whole world, of turning the whole world to Islamic. Those who will not cave in and convert will be killed. The Jews and the Christians, so America is the big Satan, Israel is the small Satan, they have to be eliminated, and the rest will be subjected to Islamic rule. So they will be second class citizens at best, they will be enslaved, and that's the vision of this radical Islam. And apparently, the West did not take them very seriously,
Yes.
and we are actually seeing the results
Yes.
of that nonchalant, really, attitude now.
Laissez-faire. So what about the Russians and China? How do they figure into this? They're not going to want to be dominated or controlled by radical Muslims any more than the United States are.
No, and they have been actually taking steps in their countries against Muslims, against radical Islam. So the Russians have really uh, killed thousands of people in Chechnya, if you recall, at the time, and the Chinese are going after their Islamic population. However, they wait and see what will happen now. Uh, Everybody, well, they issued condemnations, but they are not doing anything. They are sitting and watching. And this will actually, the US finishing this war quickly by using their buster um, penetrating bombs, the bunker penetrating bombs, they will actually show with their resolution, that will be a very good message to both China and Iran that the US means business. And that will strengthen and elevate the US stature in the world.
Well, let's switch gears for a minute. We've got a lot of problems on our own right now in this country. We can start with the fact that we've got 20 million illegal immigrants in the United States. President Trump has declared all out war on immigrants that are here illegally. Is
Yeah.
it possible to win that war? It seems to me to be a objective of gargantuan proportion. I mean, when you think about, we're going to fly these people back to their home country, and the largest jetliners in the world may hold 200, 220 people. Divide 20 million by that. I don't think we have enough airplanes and enough time to
Well,
deport all 20 million. What's the end game here?
well, we could also send them back in container ships. There are many ways to do that. And other countries have airplanes, and they can be actually sent back. But it's very important because now there has been a rise in crime, although the Biden administration was not reporting on it, uh, because illegal migrants came in. They came in. They were criminals when they crossed the border. Many of them came with criminal background to this country. They were sent here, and they came here from really all over the world, and they have been engaged in criminal activities, gangs, looting, etc. And the blue cities, the Democrat-run cities and states, have been protecting them, giving them asylum, fighting with the Trump administration. Somebody who crossed the border illegally, who entered here against the law, then the Democrats are claiming they should have due process. No, they they are not American citizens. They should be sent out. So the that's my opinion. I think that others are supporting it.
So let me
However,
ask you: is there an argument to be made about retaining or allowing some illegals to stay in the country so they can work in agriculture, construction, hotels, restaurants.
Yeah,
I mean, if
but
we
there
remove those people all in one day, I think that we're going to see a lot of business casualties follow in the footsteps of that.
Yeah,
What do you think?
the idea is to keep the people who really okay. So they came here illegal. They came here. They overstayed their visa, whatever, but they are working. They are paying taxes, and they are not committing any crime.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not sure about
there
paying
has been
taxes. That's the
some
one
of them
fly
do.
in the ointment there. I think that they
Well,
probably are not paying taxes.
some of them do. However, the United States had many arrangements with countries to give work visas, to people who come here for some period of time to work here. That can continue and maybe increase. And Trump already declared that hotel workers, farm workers, etc., people who used to work in different industries in this country can stay here as long as they are not criminals. So there is a lot of work to be done.
Well, he's kind
And
of flip flopped on that, hasn't he? He originally said round them up, then he said we're going to put a pause on it, and then my
it's,
most recent information was that he's lifted the pause. So I'm not sure what the policy of the day is
well, the
on
policy
these
of the
people.
day is that we want to get rid, first and foremost, of the criminal elements, and there are quite a few of them.
100%. I mean, to me,
So,
there is no defense for that. Yet we see a candidate for mayor in New York trying to interfere with ICE
tell
taking
me about
an
it.
illegal into custody.
And then they lie and they say, "Oh no, we are cooperating with the police." No, they also have this movement of defund the police. New York is really terrible, but
I mean, you
the
got a
whole movement,
quite a lineup there between Kathy Hochul, Letitia James, Mayor Adams, and AOC. I mean,
yeah,
don't you feel like you're kind of on an island by uh,
we are,
yeah.
well,
Well,
sort of
you
an
literally
island.
are on an island, but I meant
Yeah,
metaphorically in a
yeah.
political sense.
It is, yeah. We often feel people who think like me are certainly feeling like that, but there are more and more people who feel like me because we have to live here, and it's difficult when you go out to the street and you are being mugged, you are being slashed with knives. It's not drug dealings everywhere. That's not a very pleasant place to get out to the street to. But this whole thing actually started with after Bill Clinton passed his immigration reform in 1996. George Soros didn't really like that, and he decided that he will start protecting illegal migrants. And that was when he started to give millions of dollars to organizations that will help and to this day are helping and funded since then many more with many billions of dollars. Others join him to protect illegal migrants, to encourage illegal migration to the United States. That evolved over the years, and we ended up with Biden allowing, and the Biden administration and the Democrats have been, Soros has been their major contributor. So I think we have to thank others joined, but he was the one who really started the movement for to allow illegal migrants, because according to him, we don't need sovereignty, and the United States doesn't have to be a superpower. But sovereignty, he said, is an archaic notion, and so that's the mantra of people who support the globalization, right?
We're
So, and calling it and using different language. So they don't call them aliens, illegal aliens. They call them migrants. Well, no, they are not migrants. At worst, they are illegal migrants, right? But they are illegal aliens, and we should actually send them back.
we're talking to Dr. Rachel Ehrenfeld. She is the founder of the New York-based institute or Center for Democracy and the Economic Warfare Institute. She's also written a compelling book called The Soros Agenda, and that's what I'd like to spend some time on. Where does George Soros live?
He lives in New York, in the New York area. Um, Last he has been seen was on maybe on Alex Soros's wedding this last weekend
That
in
where last weekend? I didn't hear.
the Hamptons. Alex Soros, who
Yes.
now runs the Open Society Foundations, who inherited it from his father, um, got married to Huma Abedin uh, on the weekend. And so he released a photo on Instagram, actually on Father's Day, showing him together. Soros was not at George was not at the wedding.
Ah,
Apparently, he doesn't look exactly in a very good shape.
I
Okay.
see. Well, my point is, I'm not trying to dox
Yeah.
George Soros or his son, but I'm trying to establish that they are subject to the jurisdiction of the laws of the United States and the state of New York. Why have we not gone and arrested them for treason? It seems like everything that is bad that happens in this country, like defund the police and the riots that we had in 2019, the riots that violence that was committed against Tesla, the violence that we've seen in Los Angeles and other parts of the country.
Anti-Semitism, all the anti-Semitic demonstrations against Israel, pro-Hamas, all
Yes,
over the country,
on Columbia
in
campus
campuses.
and Harvard.
Soros has funded it from October 8th.
Why have we
Okay,
not gone and locked them up and charged them with high crimes, including the possibility of treason? It seems to me I'm kind of at the point where enough is enough, and they have gotten a free pass for way too long, in my opinion. I'm 100% in favor of free speech. If someone wants to go to Columbus Circle right now and stand out there and rave like a lunatic and talk about defending Palestine,
quite a few
Hamas,
people do that every day.
yeah, defund the police, just do it. But you cannot transcend and commit violence. And you cannot be intentionally trying to destabilize a country, which seems to me to be their objective. Why
Well,
do we permit it? I don't get it.
Soros had been really thriving on chaos. And if you have chaos, then you can destabilize the government. So if you pay to elect, if you fund the election of prosecutors who don't want to actually enforce the law, and also for pay for the election of judges in many places where they are elected, and for public officials everywhere where they are elected, and local governments, and also in Congress, then you can get away with many things. You don't even need to change the laws. You actually change it because nobody is enforcing the law.
Yes,
So,
exactly. And they've
so
done
this
that
is
too. They funded liberal leftist DAs that have just refused to enforce the criminal laws, like in San Francisco, where they have a stated policy that you can shoplift as long as it does not exceed $1,000. I mean, I don't, it is just incomprehensible to me that you and I are even sitting here discussing this, let alone that these people have allowed and encouraged it to happen. I mean, what in God's name is going on?
they have been funding, so they themselves didn't commit any violence, right? They only fund groups because they want, and everything is in the name of justice. So they have economic justice, racial justice, gender justice, climate justice, Hamas justice. I mean, everything is tagged with justice. They're using really Orwellian language
Yes.
to disguise what they are doing, and so everything that they blame everybody else who tries to live according to law and order, and the Constitution as doing as being Nazis, as being fascist, you name it, while they are actually using tactics and strategies that both the Nazis and the communists have been using, and the same propaganda.
I want to go back to and end
Middle
on the
East.
topic of immigration if we could.
Yeah.
I have been developing what I refer to as the Gordon Plan. And I have this notion that, saying, all right, go home to Mexico, Guatemala, Venezuela, pick your country, and apply for entry into the United States, and we'll
Yeah.
consider you for a green card.
Yeah.
You and I both know that that's a 2-year process at best.
Well,
Meanwhile, there
I came here. I came here. As you can hear from my accent, I was not born here.
that's not a New York, that's not a Brooklyn accent that you have.
No, it's not a Brooklyn accent. It's an Israeli accent, actually.
Yes.
And I came here. I was invited actually by the U.S. government, but I came in. I'm a naturalized citizen. Very proud. I chose to become an American. And I chose it because I said, well, this is the place where there is real democracy actually written into the Constitution. And this is why it's important to be here. Well, okay, so the Soroses of this world want to change the Constitution. He actually had written some amendments to the Constitution that he thought should be enacted because, well, the Constitution is really what did the founding fathers know 250 years ago? They didn't know anything. The world has changed. So he has better ideas how to change the constitution. So, and apparently this is why they want actually to have more judges and so that they can and have all kind of very radical left congressmen elected, so that then they can actually change the constitution, so that America will not be America, not will be a republic, a constitutional republic anymore.
Well, that really doesn't work for me, but I think that there is. I do want to go back to the Gordon plan here for
Yeah,
just a
please.
second. You know how we had fairgrounds that were open and dedicated to administering the vaccine to people by the millions?
That
What
was
if we reopened those fairgrounds and instead of administering the vaccine, we allow people that are here illegally to go there with proof of their identity, register with their address, to be vetted for their time in the United States, demonstrate that they have been gainfully employed, that they have not committed any crimes, and allow them a temporary work visa so until we can get it sorted out. But in the meantime, round up the really truly bad guys, the hardened criminals, the people that are raping, robbing, murdering, and get them out of here like by Friday. But provide a process by which law-abiding, good people. And my theory is that if Donald Trump were to do that, he would. Joe Biden may have invited them into the country, but Donald Trump would become their host. And instead of assuming and believing that those people are going to vote for Democrats, let's embrace them under the Gordon plan, convert them and educate them on why the Republican Party and how the Republicans actually are the party of Lincoln, who freed the slaves and who have granted equal and justice and opportunity to all people from all races, creeds, and colors, and then develop a policy that will last 4 to 8 years and decide how many immigrants do we need and want in this country, pick the brightest and the best, allow them to stay temporarily under whatever the policy is that would evolve, but not devolve into rioting across the nation and what appears to me to be an unrealistic plan of deportation that will not accomplish the
you
objective in the long run. What do you think of the Gordon plan?
you
Before
got me you got me from the word vetting. Vetting these people is very important. Yeah, with vetting, I'm completely for. I think it's an excellent plan. I endorse it, but with very careful vetting, because
Absolutely. And look,
yeah,
if we can't vet them, I'm sorry, we don't have a place for you. But
yeah.
if we can vet you, and we could, we've got a pretty uh, good leverage with these countries.
Well, there are,
Mexico, Venezuela,
but it's not
Guatemala.
only. Yeah, but you have Senegal and you have Sudan and you have Eritrea and you have Pakistan
Well,
and you
those
have
people are in a class of themselves, including the 150,000 military age fit Chinese men that walked across our southern border.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, round them up, put them on a boat today back to China. They have an army in this country. Nobody
yeah.
comes here. No
You
one
do.
leaves China or travels without the knowledge and consent of the CCP.
Yeah,
That's all you need to know. Round them up, send them home today. They're bringing biological warfare into the country with fungi that can attack our food supply. Why? You know how we put up with Iran for all these decades? We're doing the same thing right now in real time with China. And China is a much bigger threat than Iran
yeah.
ever hoped to be. And
Well, they are a huge threat, but Obama giving them, with Biden giving them more than $100 billion in oil revenues, and Obama giving them many billions of dollars as part of the Iran nuclear weapon deal that he supposedly made with them. He actually enabled them to develop the nuclear weapon. So now that we know we have better identified our enemies, I think that those who came from enemy countries should be sent back. I agree with you.
Dr. Rachel Ehrenfeld, it has been a pleasure. She is the founder and president of the American Center for Democracy and the Economic Warfare Institute. She's also written a compelling book called The Soros Agenda. Thank you for coming on today, Dr. Ehrenfeld, and I hope you will come back and have a great rest of your weekend.